All right, welcome back to the Path Podcast, Season 2, Episode 5. Today we're speaking with Cynthia, who has a healthy gummy company called Nuchu. It was a great conversation, a lot of topics, entrepreneurship, health and wellness, meditation,
Yeah.
and unsolicited YouTube ads. So stay tuned.
Where are you guys now, like in the US? Whereabouts?
We're in Kansas City.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Where are you right now?
Monaco.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah. I visited Monaco when I visited Dave, and it's a beautiful city. I didn't want to leave.
It it is, but I mean after like 3 days you do want to leave.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
My bank account was telling me to leave, but I wanted to stay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're studying there right now, I'm assuming?
No, I live between Monaco and London, so I was just born and raised in Monaco, and then just for my mental sanity, I'm not here all year round.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, so it is. It was pretty nice living there for that amount of time, but
Yeah.
it just gets kind of the same thing
Yeah,
over and over
you
again.
don't really meet people, like there's not much to do, but it has
Yeah.
its upsides.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
So yeah, no, Dave told me that we have an entrepreneur like yourself coming on. Could you talk a little bit about your company and like
Yeah.
what like made you want to pursue this
hmm
business style?
So a few years ago, I was diagnosed with IBS, which is basically like a gut health diagnosis, and I just became really conscious as to what I was eating and just putting into my body, and I wanted to take gummy supplements, and I noticed with all of them, the majority had sugar, and the ones that were sugar-free had sweeteners, which are even worse for your gut health. And
Yeah.
because I couldn't find a clean alternative, I just decided to make my own. And it was during COVID that I started to get the idea because I just saw a lot of people starting their own businesses and it just kind of triggered something in me. And a few years later, I just decided to do that full time.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. So that's how most great ideas happen, is just do it yourself. So one of our previous guests on this show, they started an electrolyte company called Strike Light, and it was basically the same thing as what you're doing. It just wasn't good enough, the products that were out there. So you just do it yourself, and then you market it yourself, and it could turn into something really huge, which
A
I think
hundred
it will.
percent. And there's no formula. I mean, had I known all the work that has to go into just building a brand and a business, I don't think I would do it again.
Yeah,
But the thing is that when you start, you don't know what's coming, and then you get to a point where it's kind of too late to backtrack. So you're just
Right.
learning and being challenged every day. But I don't think I could do anything else now that I'm kind of on this journey.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So what do you think was the hardest part about starting a business? Like, was
Having
it the
to
marketing,
I think it
the
was
supply chain?
not having like a co-founder or anyone like a team, meaning I had to do still to this day like the marketing, the accounting, the finance, the like anything you can kind of think of, the logistics. It's all
Yeah.
me, and so sometimes I'm sending an email about finance, but then 2 seconds later I have to deal with something about logistics, so it gets a bit overwhelming because you're wearing all these different hats at the same
Yeah.
time.
yeah,
So I think that's the most challenging part, is to kind of be doing it by yourself.
Yeah. That's
100%.
incredible because with us, Dave's my business partner. He's into the finance and accounting. I couldn't tell you the first thing about accounting, but so I'm in the supply chain and the marketing side. So that's where I am. But it is nice to have that person to bounce ideas off
For
of.
sure. And I think down the line, and by down the line, I mean like next few months, I'm definitely going to have to find somebody that can kind of complement the things that I'm not great at, because doing it
Mm.
by yourself, it's too time consuming. And I'd rather hire somebody to do it properly than to kind of do it half well, you know?
No,
Right.
exactly. And like one of the crazy things about it is that like you only have so much time during the day, right? So you have to be able to like take a step back and be like, okay, what's the best way I can use my time? Not just try to strain myself to do everything at once, but what's the one thing that could be my company going forward?
Correct. Then I could have an idea of what that time is best used for. But then if I were to have somebody else to be like, oh, don't forget about this, and then actually that thing would have been the best way to allocate my time. So it's, I think, always good to kind of have somebody there to kind of remind you to also stay on track and like just Yeah, I agree 100%.
Okay, quick interruption. Make sure to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. It means a lot to us. So back to the video.
Definitely. Uh, so are you in any stores right now with your company or your brand?
Yes, so I'm in a few stores in Monaco because that's where the company's headquartered, and obviously it's so small, everyone kind of knows each other, so it's been a bit easier there. I'm
Nice.
launching, thank you. I'm launching in a large pharmacy in London in like a week's time. I'm in a Pilates studio there as well. I'm on an app called Zap in the UK. It's kind of like Postmates in the
Okay.
US. So that's been really good as well. So yeah, things just take time. And honestly, when I started, I thought it'd be a bit easier, but you just realize that you're not the only brand out there, and all these buyers are being bombarded with the same emails. And
Yeah.
yeah, it just takes time because the retailer that I'm launching in next week, it took me almost a year for them to even reply to me.
Oh
So I
wow.
think, yeah, so I think it's just persistence, and you never know.
Yeah, definitely. So what is the process like for when you're getting into one of these retail stores? Because I know you have to like buy spots on the shelf. Like, do you want the top shelf, the middle shelf, the bottom shelf? Is that how it is?
So with the big ones, I don't know if you're familiar with Boots in the UK. It's kind of like a
No.
Walgreens.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so with them, that is most likely the case, but because I'm not at that stage yet to be able to get into like such a big retailer, it's pretty simple. What I do is just I'll find the buyer on LinkedIn, I'll add them, and you just keep sending an
Start that
email. So like I'll
conversation.
send an email, and then like three weeks later I'll put a note in my calendar, follow up again. So I just follow up with like new updates, like where else we launched in the meantime. And then you just have to keep doing that. I also sent to the store the samples, wrote a card for the buyer. So yeah, that's just for one place.
Yeah.
Wow. And
You
just
got to rinse and
continually that
repeat.
doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Are you,
it's a journey.
yeah. Are you trying to do online sales as well, or are you just mainly sticking to retail?
So in the beginning, I wanted to do it all. I wanted to do meta ads, SEO. I wanted to be on Amazon. I wanted to retail because obviously when you start a brand, you have all these ideas of like you want to be a big brand, so you have to kind of do it all. But I just realized that it's so expensive to do D2C, especially as a supplement company. And it's either you focus all your efforts and budget on website or retail. And I
Yeah.
just
Gotcha.
noticed that for now, because I'm preparing to fundraise, that I do not have the funds to do online properly because ads are really
Mm,
expensive, and now
yeah.
there's way more ads, TikTok ads, than there were like years ago.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
just very, very expensive today to like get a customers, to click on your website because there's so many other brands competing for the same space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can imagine.
And it's more of an auction service, right? So the more competition will drive down the price, so your money's not even worth it.
Exactly. Same with
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazon. You have to spend ads there as well, and it's like a whole other
Yeah.
ecosystem
We
that
know that all too well.
yeah, and that at least by myself I can't handle. I'd rather start where I can, and then as the business grows, obviously try and focus more efforts online, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that's an important lesson too, because most people do try to do too many things at once. They try to like outsource all their like like they try to push their product to as many places at once. When if you just take it step by step, right? Like entrepreneurship is a journey. If you just focus on the next step and the next step and the next step and just keep doing that, then I feel like that's a much better approach than trying to take 5,000 different steps at once.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm 100% guilty of that. In the beginning, I hired somebody to take care of my Instagram, PR, and this and that. But these are things that are not essential and that are not really driving sales, at least not now. This is something that you do once you have a bit more brand visibility and the brand's more established. But obviously, it's once you kind of make the mistake of spending and spending that you realize, uh-oh, that should not
Right.
have been allocated there. But it's unfortunately, I think, with just everything in life, you kind of have to make the mistake to be able to learn from it. So that's kind
Hmm.
of what happened recently, actually.
Yeah. That's always the question though. Like, how much can I do all on my own? And what is the stepping off point? Is it a monetary thing? Is it how many stores we're in? And then that's when I can hire out those jobs that I've been doing. So yeah, no, I completely understand that, because we're doing it all ourselves right now. We're not hiring anyone out. We did hire someone. So our first business
Hmm.
was an Amazon fulfillment business. We bought just random goods and then resold them on Amazon. So to cut the time in half for that whole process, we hired a VA, a man out of the Philippines.
Yep.
Yep.
Brian.
Yep.
Shout out to
Brian out of the
Brian.
Philippines. Yep. Shout out to Brian. And he sourced all the products for us, like online. Like, so when we went to sleep, he was working. And then we woke up, had an entire list of all the goods we could possibly buy, bought those, and then put them right onto Amazon. So that was huge for us. And then we killed that business because we wanted to focus on Path. But
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah, understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
it's
kind
a
of goes back.
learning journey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is. And
definitely.
it kind of goes back to what you said, where you first, I feel like so many people try to give advice out online and they try to tell you how to do this and that. Whereas most of life, where you actually learn, is through that experience, trial and error, and just kind of moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and as unfortunate as it is, that is kind of just with everything in life, as you said, like you just have to make the mistake. And also, like with the advice part of what you were saying, no one knows you, no one knows your business as much as you, no one knows eventually your team, the way you work. And like on LinkedIn, I see all these businesses, and sometimes it like brings me a bit down because they're like so successful and this and that, and like I was constantly comparing my business to theirs, but we don't really know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know
Mhm.
their working environment. They're not me, and the business is
Hmm.
not mine. And so I think it's also important to just really stay tunnel vision and not really compare to like what others are doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's
And
a
that's,
great approach.
yeah, it is. And that kind of goes with like all social media. We talk about this a lot, how it gets people down just by seeing that one best part of their life on
Yeah.
Instagram. But no one ever sees like the struggle that they went to achieve that. All they see is the end product, the end goal, and it gets people down. So yeah, definitely stay tunnel vision on your own goals and you'll be fine.
I
Yeah.
have deleted Instagram since April on my
Oh,
phone,
nice.
TikTok as well. I just go on
Mhm.
it maybe a few times like a day, but when I say go on it, it's literally to see if there's messages or like follow requests, and that's it. I'm not scrolling anymore. I can't,
Yeah.
and
That's
I
the
do
worst
feel
thing.
so much better.
It is the
However,
worst thing.
I have been doing that on LinkedIn, and that's not great either because
Same. Same.
Scrolling on
personally,
LinkedIn.
yeah, because personally, the Instagram thing, I feel much better as a like individual, but then business wise, less so because now it's like LinkedIn. So
Yeah, it's the trade-off. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the
yeah.
apps or like the videos now on LinkedIn, so you can just doom
I
scroll
know. There's
reels and
just
stuff.
so
It's
much. It's really
yeah.
overwhelming. And yeah, sometimes you just need to really zoom out and
Oh,
also see how
absolutely.
far you've come as opposed to like how far you have left to go, which is
Yeah.
something I struggle
It's
to
a great
do, is like
approach.
to
Yeah.
celebrate the small wins.
Yeah. No, I'm guilty of that. I need to celebrate the smaller wins because that's how you don't burn yourself out. You have those little checkpoints that get you
Yeah.
all the way.
And also you feel that you get into like, let's say, a certain retailer, and that once you have that, you'll be happy. But then you do get into that retailer and it's like, okay, great, what's next? You're never
Exactly.
Hmm.
really fulfilled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What is it like? You delay gratification long enough and you never actually have gratification.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And I feel like entrepreneurs know that better than anyone. So we're all in it together. We all know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's just, I think when you compare it to a 9 to 5, it's just a different risk profile. Right? Like entrepreneurship is baked and uncertain. Whereas if you have a 9 to 5, you have a paycheck, you come in at 9 o'clock every morning. It's just a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that if something were to go great in like a 9 to 5 business, if it's not your business, you just won't care as much as
Yeah, there's
well.
no skin in the game.
It's not motivating. That's
No,
what I found.
absolutely. No, I agree 100%.
Well, the thing
Um,
that Mark Cuban said, it's like I'd rather work or make $50,000 working for my own business, being my own CEO, than making like $150,000 working for someone else.
It's so
yeah.
fulfilling, honestly, like the flexibility, and like yes, the highs are very high and the lows are extremely low. But like,
Hmm.
as I said, like I don't think I could go back to like an office job or anything. Just that
Hmm.
Yeah.
freedom you
Yeah.
have as an entrepreneur and like the networking, and it's crazy.
we interview a lot of entrepreneurs and all in different stages of their journey. Some that have achieved what they want and some that are just starting out. And all of them have the same consensus. They cannot go back because now that they've worked on something that they love and they care about, they can't be working on something that is not building up their own brand. And it's also the time freedom. So,
Yeah, to be able to like leave and take a plane if you need to take a plane and not have to like ask permission and sick
Yep.
leave and
yeah,
this and that, and you're just really doing your own thing and at your own pace, and that's it. Because at
right.
the end, it's your business, it's your baby, and I think most entrepreneurs will do what it takes and they have to wake up at 7 a.m. They'll do it versus when it's like not for their business, they'll be a
Mhm.
bit more lazy and just won't care as much, really.
Yeah, because it's not like it's not your issue, right?
Yeah.
With like regular jobs, you just have the specific tasks that you need to do.
And if you don't take care of your business, then I mean, there's no one else that will.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it'll just wither away.
Yeah.
But but I do like the kind of double tapping into that time freedom. I feel like that's the most important thing that most people don't realize. It's like, especially in the States, everyone's just been so acclimatized to like going to college, getting a good 9 to 5 job. And so they have no reference point to what an entrepreneurship journey is and like actually what time freedom looks like. I think that's
But I
what
think
you're
that's
saying
not
to them
only in the
too.
US. I think that's a bit everywhere. It's like the
Is it?
basic go to like college, get a job, done.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah, because in Europe it's a bit the same mentality.
really? Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's like there's no reference point to what an entrepreneurship journey could look like, or even like how someone would go about doing that. And so without even the knowledge of how to get into it, people don't even realize it. And so they're just used to 9 to 5 jobs where they just do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah, they kind of just default into that lifestyle and that mentality. Because college does like it breeds you to be a worker. It doesn't breed you to be a leader or
For
a
sure.
co-founder or an owner.
But then I do have those days where I I just feel like I want to give up and like, ugh, I wish I would just have stuck with like an office job. This is too difficult. But then I have days where I've answered every email, I'm feeling great, and I'm on a beach.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a
yeah,
balance, honestly.
yeah, 100%. How do you pull yourself out of that kind of that valley of doubt of that an entrepreneur goes through?
Oh, I cry.
You
I'll
cry.
have the
Okay.
breakdown because I know that like when the emotions come out, I feel just so much lighter. I
Yeah.
love crying. I rate crying. I think you
Yeah.
like when you because it accumulates, and if you don't let it out, then it's just going
Yeah.
to, delay it. And yeah, I just have a little breakdown for maybe like 15 minutes. I'll hug my mom, and then the next day I'm like good to go as if it never happened.
That's
Nice
awesome. Yeah. Maybe you
approach.
should
That's
try
kind
that.
of the
I
way I
definitely
deal
should
with
try
it.
that.
Or I'll call
I-
like a good friend or who knows kind of what I've been going through and words of wisdom, and that's it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you have any mentors that have helped you through this journey or any friends that are entrepreneurs?
So when I'm struggling with like a finance part of it, I do have like someone that's really good with finance that like sets me straight. Then somebody who kind of helps me with like PR, who I then call when I'm having an issue in with that part of like the marketing aspect. So I have a few people here and there depending on kind of what I'm freaking out about.
Mhm. Yeah.
But then yeah, I do have friends that also have started their own companies, and it's just honestly by exchanging with actual founders that you realize you're not alone,
Mm.
which I think is great. Also, networking events, because you realize that your problems is kind of everyone's problem as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's
Yeah.
kind of going through the same motions. And I think that also reassures you.
100%. And it's just being like, just being in the arena and realizing that if someone else is working towards the same thing as you, like another entrepreneur,
Yeah,
like odds are 10 out of 10, they're not going to try to put you down or trying to drag you back. They just want to help you because they want help too. And it's kind of a really reassuring kind of friendship and a bond that you create with entrepreneurs too, because everyone wants to have a better life.
for sure. And I
Yeah.
notice with other entrepreneurs, other founders, that everyone is so kind. No one kind of gatekeeps their fulfillment center or like any kind
Yeah.
of like question.
Yep.
They'll like gladly help. Do you know someone that can help me with photography or marketing? Sure, here. Like everyone has always been super, super helpful. for sure.
Yeah, the entrepreneurial community is amazing. We discovered that early in college. We joined the entrepreneurship club, and it was a very tight knit group. Everyone
Hmm.
wanted to help each other. If you remember that.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. It was a good time.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And I also
So
feel most founders are probably solo founders, a lot of them. And so I think just by opening up and being nice to other founders, you also make that friendship as well,
yeah,
long
Hmm.
term.
yeah, you build that trust immediately. Yeah.
And that community aspect to it, right? It's like a lot of what it means to be human is just to have that community. To have a community where everyone is supporting one another is probably the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
It's also
So
very isolating to be a founder. Like I
It
feel
it
is.
is.
very, very lonely. And so if I have other founders that, I can reach out to and that I know are there, there's nothing better. Because a friend is a friend, yes, but they don't necessarily understand the journey and what you're
Mhm.
feeling versus
Mhm.
another founder. So yeah, I think that aspect is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I agree.
Yeah. How is it being an entrepreneur in Monaco, especially given that it's such a small, night or tight knit community?
I mean, there aren't many entrepreneurs from Monaco. It's more like tech stuff, I guess, or like
Yeah.
payment solutions, that kind of stuff.
FinTech.
Um, but because it is such an isolating journey, even if I am in London because I live back and forth, I also feel quite alone there too, because you're with like your laptop and that's kind of it. I don't have a team or anyone, so be it in Monaco, in London, or just anywhere else, I'd still kind of feel the same, I think.
Oh, interesting. Do you
Interesting.
feel like that's just from like the nature of the business that you're in itself?
I think it's just the fact that I don't have anyone helping me out right now. I don't have a co-founder. I don't have like a team. But when I do go to London, I feel a bit lighter in terms of workload just because there are more networking opportunities. There are more events where you meet other founders. Whereas in Monaco, it's so small that you don't have like any community like this at all, where
Mhm.
you can just go out and like chat to different founders and that kind of stuff. Whereas London, obviously bigger, so you have way more choice, a lot of events, a lot of communities, and just a lot of opportunities to meet founders in the same space. And yeah, so over there, it's a little less isolating.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see yourself, you said in the next few months you were trying to like hire someone else. What type of person are you looking for that would complement your skills?
I think someone that's great with like sales because
Yeah,
I
definitely.
I have like an Excel and like I do follow up and stuff, but I'm just also dealing with so much more that it's very overwhelming, the sales part to me. So ideally somebody that can just go knock on doors for me. Well, not for me, but with me rather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so time consuming. Sales, telemarketing, face to face sales, and it's so essential too. So
That's the
Mm.
problem. It is so time consuming, but it's the one thing that you can't not do.
yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly. That and
Yeah.
marketing, I think, like just staying on the internet and not letting people forget who you are and what your brand is. I think that's very important too. So I like how sales and marketing is kind of bundled together because it is very important.
It goes hand in hand for sure.
Yeah. Oh, so we talked about marketing and sales. Can you talk a little bit about the supply chain, where the gummies being manufactured? Are
Hmm.
you making them at home or?
No, no. So they're being made in Spain, in Madrid. And
Okay.
then, so they were done last summer. Then they were transported to a third-party logistics center in France.
Mhm.
And so I have part of the stock in France and part of the stock in a third-party logistics in the UK as well, because most of my sales are in the UK because Monaco is just too small. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of where the stock is and a bit at home and yeah, but I don't deal with
Nice.
like the online orders. It all goes through a warehouse.
Okay.
It does ease it a little bit, like ease the burden.
Yeah, in the beginning I was going like to the post office and dropping it off for my friends and this and that, but I mean, based off what we
Slow.
were talking about, I can't like go to the post office every day and deal with that and the
Yeah.
packaging and the this and the no.
Yeah, especially when you have like finance, accounting, like marketing, so many other things to do.
Yeah. Yes. You get it.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. When we did that resale business, we had to go every day to UPS to drop off packages. So it literally took probably about an hour or two just to package everything up a day. It was
And it's a stress
so
because I know that if an hour or two I'm out there and I'm not on my laptop, I'm just don't want to even think about what kind of email will come through.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I do have like my emails on my phone, and I am guilty of like I don't take a lunch break. I mean, I do, but like I'm always checking my email and that kind of stuff. So I'm just
Yeah.
always connected, and I find it hard to kind of disconnect. I'm scared of what will come through if I'm not checking.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When we had to deal with Amazon, we were just scared of every single Amazon
Oh yeah.
email that came through. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this product didn't do well. We're gonna destroy it or something.
Oh
You know?
yeah, you're not allowed to sell that. Take all our money back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a bit in fight or flight every time I'm like away from my laptop and I hear that email sound.
Oh, okay.
I really am like, what can it be now? You know,
It's the natural state of anxiety the entire time.
awful feeling.
That's horrible.
Yeah. But I was curious, what would you say like your target audience is? Like, who are you trying to reach out to for these products?
So a lot of like health conscious consumers, those that tend to read the ingredients before purchasing a product, um, the matcha Pilates kind of girl, Gen Z,
Yeah.
yeah, just even those that like struggle to take tablets, those that have gut health issues, diabetes, because the gummies don't have added sugars or sweeteners. And so we have a prebiotic that's naturally sweet instead. So those that don't want any like spike in their blood glucose, yeah, that's kind of predominant like audience, if you will.
That's awesome.
Oh, interesting. So is it just the one product that treats gut health? And then do you have just that singular product, or is there like a portfolio of
No,
products?
so they're all gut friendly, but none of them are for gut health, if that makes sense. I have one for immunity, one is hair, skin, nails, and the last one is calming with ashwagandha,
Oh, okay.
but they're all gut friendly, if that makes sense.
Okay, they didn't like disrupt it.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been looking to
ashwagandha is
take
really
a
nice.
supplement. Yeah, no, I've had some. Yeah.
Get that nootropic focus.
Yeah.
Are you
He's
trying
all
to
about
like?
the ash.
Yeah, well, I've been getting into like biohacking a lot, so like
Okay.
circadian rhythm, carnivore diet-ish, paleo, kind of
Yeah.
trying to tweak these little things that are push your brain to the next level, your body to the next level, and that sort of stuff.
Like Brian Johnson?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
vibe.
Not as like I'm not trying to like
Intense.
take blood out of my kid and then put it into my body, but
That
yeah.
guy's a vampire, 100%.
If something freaky's going on there. I mean, I
Yeah, I know.
don't know how he manages.
It's
Yeah.
insane. I watched a video about him the other day. It's like $200 million initial investment for all this biohacking. He hired 30 different specialists for all kinds of organs in his body. And his morning and day routine is just jam packed with just all this stuff that none of us really have time to do. This guy takes like
Yeah.
100 pills a day. It's ridiculous, but
But do you
he's
even
doing
have
something right.
friends when you're doing this? Like you
That's the
can't
thing.
even leave your house.
Yeah, that was and actually, yeah, he can't leave his house. So he has like a air quality reader outside of his house and inside of his house. And if it goes below, the air quality of his liking, he won't go outside that day. He'll just stick inside
Ah,
the air that's
But
quality, which is in his house.
there was this Netflix documentary. I don't know if you saw it.
No, this is a
I didn't see
YouTube
it
video
now.
I saw.
That was interesting. But yeah, I mean, even if there are certain things that he does that are great, I mean, that's not, you can't live like that.
No,
You
you
know,
Mhm.
can't.
you
It's
can
not
do little
sustainable.
switches, but I mean, to not leave your house because of air quality, I mean,
Yeah,
especially as a
They're out of
founder, you don't
mind.
really have a choice if you need to go see a retailer or something. I mean, the air quality is
exactly.
like the last thing on your concern list.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, no
exactly.
kidding.
Yeah, especially people who get into that, they just try to over optimize. And so
Mhm.
if you try to over optimize way too much, then you forget all the other things that you have in life.
Yeah.
So,
And like
Um,
even today, there are some great grandparents who are 110 and still alive by just, they always say it's just by going to the basics. Just no
yeah,
stress,
exactly.
eat well, move a bit, and that's it. Like
That
today,
is
I feel
the
there's so much information and things you have to do this, you shouldn't do this. But at the end, in the past, everyone lived really well,
yeah
by just eating well and not being stressed, and that's it.
yeah
They weren't worrying as much as we are today.
yeah. I think it's important to kind of anchor yourself to the basics, and if you want to kind of branch off to something that's more intense, then absolutely. But always remember the basics. Like stress is probably the number one killer, I think.
Number one, number one.
Yeah. Yeah, even over diet too. Like diet's very important, but if you're constantly stressed, that's killing you from
More
the
to
inside.
live.
Yeah,
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 definitely.
Even if, because you're just living in a natural state of thinking about the future, or you're not even living in the present, especially with stress.
yeah. You're
Yeah,
thinking of the past or the future, and the present like doesn't exist
yeah.
to these
That's a
people.
horrible way to live.
You know?
Wow.
But I do like what you're saying about sticking to like good principles, not trying to get into so much specific detail that you forget everything else in life. Which
Yeah,
is why it's like for me, like with diet, it's like, okay, just try to go for as unprocessed as possible, like grass-fed beef, good water, get good sleep, good sunlight, and just having like a very simple rule set or like
Yeah, and
principle
then
based you live
and
by.
then when you're on holiday or whatever, if you want to have like a piece of cheesecake, like it doesn't matter. It's what you do kind of consistently. There's
yeah,
365 days in a year. If for 300 of those, even 250, you're doing really well, then it doesn't matter. I think like also when we're kind to ourselves and just allow ourselves to just enjoy, you know,
yeah.
our body then is just happy as opposed to like stressed because it's being deprived of something.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's where the most of the health gurus you find online get it wrong. They
Yeah.
think it's this end all be all. You either have to be 100% in or you're not in it at all. And that's just not any way to live. Like, I'd like to treat myself sometimes. Like, I'll go on vacation. I'm not going to worry about how many drinks I drink or how many,
Yeah.
how many, how many plates of food I eat. Like, I don't care. I'll just lock in when I get back. So,
Because again, that's not even living in the present. You're fearing the future of what if you do have that extra drink, you know?
yeah, you're looking into the future. Like, how is this going to affect me? You're not living in the present. I 100% agree.
I think we're all today just too much in our heads. But there's also too much information, too much choice, there's just too much of everything that I
Mhm.
get why we're like that. But again,
Yeah.
like meditation for me is key.
Yeah, no, I started meditating a couple weeks ago. It works. 100%
Yeah.
works.
I've
It's
been doing
great.
it for like almost 3 years. It's changed my life. Obviously not daily, but I just noticed such a big difference.
Yeah, you just feel like centered, I guess is the best word.
Yeah, and things that used to get me angry, just I don't even give it a second thought anymore because you just
Hmm.
realized what's important and what's not, and what's worth your energy, etc.
Yeah, definitely. Do you meditate?
Of course.
Yeah.
I do like 20-minute meditation sessions like every other day or something like that. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
it's really
good.
powerful.
But it's not because I feel when people like when you say meditation, they just imagine you sitting in silence and going, but I just
The little like cross the
exactly.
I actually
legs.
do
Yeah.
that though.
I just do guided meditations on YouTube, like even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just super simple. You start small, and then if you want to do longer,
Yeah.
you just have to kind of get into it. I used to hate it. I couldn't even
Yeah.
Mhm.
do
Oh,
it
I
for two
know.
minutes.
No, so I used to do the YouTube guided minutes. I still do sometimes, but I was always fearing like, am I gonna get an ad for like Grammarly? And I'm just like
That's the
kills
worst.
my right. So I'm finally centered, and then this guy's screaming in my ear like, "Try my product right now!" Like, and I'm done.
Oh yeah, no, those are the worst. But sometimes in the comments, you can see if people complain if there's ads, and I'll just switch to
Yeah,
another
That's a
that's
good
one.
way
smart.
to go about it.
That's smart.
Oh
Like a little
yeah,
warning sign.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's really
Dang.
bad. Because
Yeah.
you
No,
really do get sometimes so like in tune with yourself, and that when does that ad that just like knocks you
I
off. There's
know.
it just kills
nothing
the vibe.
worse.
It really does. It
And then you
really
feel it's
does.
gonna take so long to get back in again, and then you just don't do it
You're like,
anymore.
yeah, you're like,
Now
fuck
you're
it.
just thinking, is there going to be another ad? Am I going to be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
set back to square one?
The
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah. What I do is it's only like 5 to 10 minutes when I meditate, but it's really, I'll sit down on the floor or the couch, and I'll just focus on my breathing and I'll have my eyes closed. And that really centers me.
Yeah, that's
Super simple,
very good.
basics.
The
Yeah.
breath and just calm.
Yeah.
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 There's no secret.
I
It's you kind of know. to breathe and that kind of
Yeah,
stuff. It's not that complicated, I think, as
it's
people
really
may
not.
think it is.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I just use this app called like Insight Timer. It's completely free and there's no ads, so you don't have to worry about a Grammarly ad coming up there. But it's really nice. It's like can do like there's like sleep stuff in there too, which has like binaural frequencies, like 529.
5.47, 4.7, 5.29, something like that, or
Yeah,
4,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it has those different frequencies, so you listen to it at night.
Interesting.
It's really nice.
Does that work?
I feel like it does, but it could just be placebo.
Okay.
Right? I'm just thinking it does. But
I'll have to try it. I don't know.
yeah.
But I think all these videos and like techniques, and it's all to get you to that same point of just stillness and like to
Mhm.
quiet your mind.
Mhm.
That's it. All these apps kind of like bring you to the same point. And I feel
Yeah.
everyone has their own little trick.
Exactly. That's probably the best approach because especially what you're saying, with so much information coming around, we have to find ways to like be more still, to be able to process it. Because like we are pattern finding beings. So if you have like thousands and hundreds of thousands of things going right into your brain at once, you're gonna get overloaded. You're gonna get stressed. You're gonna like eat junk food, have these
Yeah.
all like bad reciprocative effects. So it's good just to be able to sit back and just relax and be like, okay, I can get through this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have anything else that you do to kind of stay healthy, to kind of relieve stress?
So meditation is a big one of them. Then I always work out in the day, like 6 times a
Mhm.
week. Either I go on a long walk or I'll do a workout class. Like I'm
Yeah.
always doing a workout session just because I don't have my phone and you're really in the present moment because you don't have a choice.
Oh, yeah.
So
Nice.
that's one thing I also do. And then honestly, just spending time with people that bring me energy as opposed to drain it. Because
Mhm.
as a founder, you don't have that much time to be social anymore, really, at least for me. And so I
Yeah.
don't want to be in situations where you're just like looking at your watch, like, oh, how long is this gonna last? I want to go home. Like I just want to select the things
Mhm.
Uh,
that I attend and the people
Yeah.
that I'm surrounded with because I need that energy. I'm already depleted a little during the day. That the last
mhm.
thing I want
Yeah.
to do is be in environments that just don't serve me.
Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
good
that's one of
advice.
the good derivative effects of being an entrepreneur is that you kind of raise your standards in a way. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, I only have so much time. So, like you said, if you're going to give me energy and we're going to have like a great relationship, a great vibe, then it's perfect. But if like when we became entrepreneurs, we had a lot of buddies who were still trying to drag us out to go for a good stag night out of drinking.
Yeah.
And it was it was really draining, especially like the next couple of days. Like I have a very negative perception of alcohol, but it's kind of that same concept where you need to put yourself in a good environment and you have to raise your standards in order for you to become the person you want to be.
Yeah, and then those crazy nights out are fun, but I just feel like they're so frequent, like every weekend there's something that I'm just
Yeah,
selective like when I go out. Like if it's a friend's birthday, I'll make the effort and I'll go out for
yeah,
sure. But
Yeah.
if it's just a random night with like people I'm not that close to, I'm not putting myself in that situation.
Yeah, 100%. Like
exactly.
a random Tuesday or something. Like, dude, let's go get
Yeah.
hammered at like a bar. Like, no, it's a
No,
Tuesday.
no.
Do you have to work?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was what was difficult in college when we first started our first business. We were seniors, so it was like the peak of like going out to the bar. So we always had to figure out a way to balance that.
But I think
So,
that's a big
Mhm.
American thing, less in Europe. I mean, yes, a lot of
mhm.
people go out, but I think the US has like that frat sorority kind of
Yeah,
thing and
Yeah.
like
absolutely.
even in the movies it's like with the red cups everywhere like
Yeah,
that's when
Yep,
people
that
say
was it.
that's
American
how it is.
university, that's what you kind of think of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's accurate. So,
Yeah. And especially too, our drinking age is 21. So like that's like right towards the back end of college. So you get all this freedom to go out and drink and do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
and in Europe it's 18, so maybe that's why it's less crazy at
yeah,
like senior
Mhm.
age because you're kind of used to doing it, and
right.
it's not
I
as strict.
100%
Like
agree.
at 16 you can already kind of start, there's
Yeah,
places you
Yeah.
can go, but I feel
yeah.
America's a bit stricter with that.
I feel like we
Yeah.
should lower it to 18. I don't know if I'm gonna get heat for that, but I feel like we should lower
I
it to 18.
agree, because you guys can
Like
drive at
everywhere.
16.
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah.
14. Mhm.
In some states, yeah, I think Florida it's 15. But yeah, I
Mhm.
mean the alcohol at 21, that's a bit pushing it.
Yeah.
It's
I
been
know.
much.
Yeah. You'll find your ways, but but
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think one of the cool things that you consider is that like entrepreneurship, a big foundation for your success is the momentum that you create. It's like one of the things that we talked about with alcohol is that it kind of breaks that momentum in a way. And so you have to like consider where you put your time, like you said, but also how do you build that momentum, like that snowball effect, especially when you're starting out, because it's really hard in the beginning. But then as you kind of create the systems, you create the automation, you create the network, then it kind of gets faster and faster and
Yeah,
faster until you're off to the races.
exactly.
and it's not just the night out, it's the day after. Like you have to
Hmm.
kind of push
Yeah.
through. Yeah. That's the worst.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
your mind's not there.
Yeah,
It wants
exactly.
to
You're
be
still
in
out there
bed.
at the bar. Your body's at your house, your mind's at the bar. That's,
Yeah.
that's how it is.
Exactly. You're physically there, but not so mentally.
Yeah. There's nothing up here. Yeah. When you're next day.
That's like the next week for me, man.
Is it a
Tango's
week for
been
you?
hard these days. Yeah.
Jeez, man. You go hard.
But also,
Yeah.
like, as you're kind of mentally stimulated throughout the day with emails and just, founder stuff, I have so much less energy to go out and like do that
Hmm.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm tired like at 6 p.m. I just don't want to do that much.
Right. Yeah. And staying in, that can be fun too. Like just throw on a movie, yeah.
Reading a
Just
book
That's
have you
I
or
mean
time.
that's kind of what I do.
Yeah. That's great.
But my friends are not that happy because
No,
I am
yeah. No, I
super
know.
lazy. I'm kind of like in a bad cycle. I have to force myself to be a bit more social and like go out more. But
Mhm.
like when somebody says dinner at 9 p.m., I'm just like, oh, that's like my
That's
bedtime.
crazy. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's my bedtime. What? No.
But
Yeah.
that's Europe. That's Europe for you. Because
Yeah,
I know in the
Europe
US,
it's
you
like
guys eat early. Ugh,
Yeah.
yeah, we got
so
like
good.
5.
I
5 o'clock. Yeah.
know.
5 or 6.
The
Yeah.
best. I do that at
Yeah.
home here. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if you tell somebody to go out for like dinner at 6, they're gonna look at you a bit like,
Yeah.
what's wrong with you?
That's lunchtime. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's crazy.
Do you guys have brunch?
Hmm.
Like between okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I
I
I
mean, but
never
it's mostly
understood
like
that.
weekends.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't we just call it like lunch? I feel like it's just like breakfast during the lunchtime. I don't know. I never got brunch. I never
I'm not a
understood it.
bruncher. I like my breakfast and I like my lunch
I
because
agree.
I wake up early, so I don't want to wait till like 11:30 to eat,
I know. Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely. You have a take on brunch, Dave?
I love brunch. Good old Centennial breakfast, man. Bacon, eggs, and pancakes. Can't beat it.
That's breakfast, dude.
You
Like
said my premium breakfast.
no brunch. Do you
Oh,
like
brunch.
yeah.
Yeah, I like, but like like First Watch here in KC. It's
Mhm.
like this brunch spot. It's really nice. We have like 15 different brunch spots in KC, but it's a vibe.
I'm an
I'd rather
avocado
have
toast
breakfast and lunch.
person.
You're a what?
Avocado toast with like poached eggs.
Yes.
Ooh, avocado is good. So good.
I had
Yeah.
the best avocado toast. I went to San Diego over the summer. It was the best avocado. Can I send you a picture of this?
No, no.
Okay. I'm gonna send everyone this picture. It's a fantastic. It's a fantastic. It was the best thing ever. I had to get it twice. But
Damn, must be good.
oh yeah.
You ever sprinkle like
The chili
omega
flakes.
seeds on it? Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's chia seeds. Is that what it is?
yeah. I do chia seeds, but you can also do the flakes too.
I
Yeah.
do chili flakes, yeah.
Nice.
Sounds good. I can go for that right now. I'm a little hungry.
It's 9 o'clock here, so
It's early here.
brunch.
Yeah, afterwards I go get some.
That's so funny.
But that's awesome.
Yeah, but I did have a question. So with your business, how would you kind of like to see it go? Like, where do you see it in the next 5 years? Where do you want to build
Oh, I
to?
don't like this question.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to ask it. I'm sorry.
I don't like this question because I could have an opportunity tomorrow that will change the whole trajectory of the business. You know what I mean?
Right.
that's good.
Yeah.
However, ideally, I mean, I would like to expand in new markets, to expand the product categories. And Nuchu stands for nutrition and chew. So anything that you chew, basically. So maybe go into like the food space. I don't know. You know, it's something that I can get a new idea tomorrow, and I've noticed just how fast things can switch, that in 5 years, I have no idea, but I would like to grow the brand in terms of like product offerings and markets for sure.
Yeah. New products. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that like a basic answer?
No,
No,
that's
I
a good
guess most
answer.
people kind of say that answer.
I
no,
mean, that's
that's
a
a
good
valid
answer because most
answer.
people don't say like, because you brought up a valid point. It's like you could have an opportunity tomorrow that can completely change the trajectory. So it's kind of a, I don't know.
Yeah, and who knows where they're going to be in 5 years too. You can't plan everything. So I
Exactly.
I don't like that question either, but it's a good
But okay,
conversation starter. No, I would
I'll
ask it too.
reframe.
Though. I would.
Let's
But
do
even
a
like on a personal level, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I don't know. I barely know where I
I
see
don't know.
myself like next month, you know?
I didn't even exactly. I didn't even know I was going to start this a year ago. This path.
And
Like
I
I
think it
can't
puts a
plan for
lot of
everything.
stress, you know? It's should I be like doing more, this, that? I mean, there's a lot of like, I think with timelines, like you should have it all figured out by this age, you should be married at this age and this and this.
Hmm.
But it's
uh,
hard today to like kind of know where you're gonna be in at that time, you know?
yeah, yeah. I always
Exactly.
hate those ones that are like, oh, by 30 you should have like successful business and all this stuff.
The
Yeah,
worst.
That
yeah.
goes back to social media too. You'll just see everyone getting married at the age that we're all at, and I'm just not ready for that. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and that's like kind of the standard. Like you have to get married at this age, and then have your first kid this age, and then have your successful business this age. It's
Mhm.
not that uniformed. It's everyone's story is different.
Because in the past, you didn't really have entrepreneurs as well, you know, like
Hmm.
women just got married after they didn't necessarily work. And
Right.
today, like everything's kind of shifted.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, do you have any? Because we have to wrap up, but
Sure.
do you have any final pieces of advice for our audience or your audience?
Yeah. So if I were to tell anyone any good advice, I would say to be kinder to yourself, to celebrate where you are now and accept where you are now. And don't worry so much about the future. Just look at your next step and not, you know, the end goal. That's all you need to do is just day by day.
Perfect. Yeah,
Yeah?
that's
Does
well
that
Yeah,
said.
resonate?
it's perfect.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys.